can't believe it. I can't believe it. Football, bloody hell. But they never give in. And that's the winner.
Welcome to the American Red Devils podcast. I'm John.
I'm Alex.
And we're bringing you the best Manchester United news from this side of the pond.
Woo, sir. How we doing? Ugh. Gut punch. Copenhagen 4, Manchester United 3. United came out hot, playing some of the best football we played all season, which isn't saying much, to be fair, with Højlund with 2 early goals, 2 nice team goals. And then, I thought the fucking refs in the FA were bad. I'll tell you what, UEFA, hold my beer, because dubious, questionable red card to say the least when Jamie Carragher and fucking Mika Richards are agreeing with us. That's a bad sign, but a shit red card for Rashford changes the game. United go down to 10 men in the first half, then give up a dubious penalty. United get their own dubious penalty in the second half, and then we capitulated the lead with some soft goals. And it just feels like everything's going against United's way. This would have been a great opportunity to at least hold out the draw, let alone the win, but wasn't to be. It just feels like everything's going against us. I don't want to make excuses, but today United showed some fight, showed some promise, scored some good goals, but we're walking away with no points and everything to play for. Bottom of the group. How we feeling? How we doing?
Excuse Factory back in business. It's a record-breaking quarter for the Excuse Factory. Churning them out, cranking them out. We got different refs. We got VAR, sir. This team conceded 4 goals. They conceded 2 twice in 4 minutes. We completely wet-noodled after a good start. You can start well. You got to close. Coffee's for closers. This team, when it went against them, it was over. You had 2-goal lead away. It's Copenhagen.
10
it's
men,
like,
bro. 10 men.
You go to 10 men, sir. I've seen better teams draw at 10 men. You concede 1 fine, maybe draw 2-2. You got to lock it up. You got to be organized. We were not. I mean, to go from the red card to tied into halftime is insane. That is capitulation. That's not like fighting through adversity. More importantly, the team just wasn't organized defensively and just couldn't defend the back post. All 4 goals coming from crosses into the box. It's just complete mashed potatoes on the back line. It was not good enough from United. Look, we got hard done by, but it should have been a lot easier. Should have been more straightforward from the lads.
It should have been, but we cannot discount the red card, which totally changed the game. All of a sudden, Copenhagen were in it. They had a chance at 10 men. 11v11, it was a totally different story. I think we looked energetic. We looked direct. We were actually playing some one-touch football. That first goal was excellent. AWB was such an upgrade. Not to pile on Low, but in the right back position, I think he's locked in when fit. And you're right, we capitulated in the second half, but we are 10 men, and to give up those goals, soft goals, is not good enough for this team. But, bro, you can't overlook the fact that, this ref, he's in his 4th senior game, and he's reffing a Champions League match, and he got so much wrong. But once again, we're talking about VAR. Once again, we're not talking about the football. If it was a football game, United would have won 4-0. If we don't lose Rashford, we do not lose this game, because we don't, bro. There's no fucking way. And instead, we conceded a red card, and then they scored a goal when someone was offside, blocking the goalkeeper, and then they get a penalty. And that canceled out because we got a penalty. But open your eyes, bro. Don't say we didn't play well.
You're playing a certain game, which you're never going to win, right? Which is like everything is in an imagination referee land that should be just somehow figured out. And if it all was figured out, we would win. It's like, look, here's the deal. We got hard done by the ref. That's fine, but you got to play with 10 men. How are you going to do it? You got to shut down shop, get organized. It's Copenhagen. If this was Scouse Bastards or City, I get it. 3, 4, fine. That totally makes sense. This is a soft Copenhagen side. They're not Titans of Europe. We should have done better defensively. That's all. Hey, it should have been nervy. Maybe a draw through the 90th minute, then they get the winner or something like that. And it wasn't on some lame back post cross that Low switched off on. This is just we're bad defensively. That's what this comes down to from a tactical perspective. We're not organized. The back line's mashed potatoes. We're conceding goals left and right. And when it comes to it, we don't have the backbone. We don't have the ability to fight through the adversity because when things go against us, whether it be a referee call or hard done by VAR overturning a goal, which happens a lot more this year for whatever reason, we can't fight back from it. It's a 90-minute game, toe-to-toe. That's how you win things. It's a results-based game. Bad result from United. bad result. We had the goal. We went up 3-2. We had a chance to lock it down again. We could not. Copenhagen roar back. We lose. And by the way, Hans and Franz, welcome back to the podcast. Thursday Night Football, it's coming back.
I certainly hope not. The one thing the universe could give us after this horrible start and a disproportion of bad calls, I'm not going to paper over that and act like it's not a thing. I'm not going to act like we weren't mashed potatoes at the last 10 minutes and that Varane and Delo just like did not look up to snuff. But you've been playing with 10 men for 60 minutes at that point. They were probably a little gassed, even against a weak Copenhagen side. But either way, I'm done making excuses. United, frustrating.
There's a reason. You're the foreman.
Frustrating, bro.
You're the foreman.
Well,
you got the factory
If
working.
I'm the excuse factory, you're the whinge whacker. You're
You
like,
got 'em working
whatever you
over.
are, you're like the whinge
We got to work it in
transistor.
shifts. We got to work it in shifts.
We're looking everywhere. I'll tell you what. We run out of time to make excuses here in the pod because this team.
You got to win.
they're
You got to win
frustrating,
the
sir.
game. You got to go to Copenhagen, red card or not.
Yeah, whatever.
You got to
Who
win.
gives a shit now? It's like we're out of the Champions League, basically.
It's a results-based
Unless we go to
game.
Turkey and get a win and then basically at least get a draw and then get some luck in the other group, it's over for us. And hopefully it ends in 4th place and we can just focus on the league, focus on the FA Cup, and that's that. And you know what? I want to finish in the Champions League, go to the knockout stages, but like I'd much rather not go to Europa League than go because I'm done with that shit for a while.
There's only one excuse that really matters. It's the Drogba offsides goal when they took the title from us, right? Like over 12, 13 years ago, right? That's
the only
something to
one
be upset
playing
about.
on that?
I mean, that's really the level of what we should be dissatisfied with. We're trying to like hold on to these refereeing decisions to get out of Europa League. You know what I'm saying? It's like at the end of the day, like we're just not good. We're not playing well. We're not getting results. It's a tough time to be a United fan, and we need to somehow turn around that. Number one, we need to put together a full 90. This looked like it was going to be it. It turned into a car crash. They had you. They pulled you back in. They let you down. It's all frustrations from United fans, but that's just the way it's going to be. So I think we need to lower expectations for the rest of the season because this is the way to go.
I mean, I was like,
way we're going.
we were 2-0 up, and I was like, something's gonna go wrong because like we can't be playing this well and scoring. I don't want to say this easily, but scoring goals because we haven't scored goals at all this season, and we especially haven't scored goals with our striker. So Højlund lights out in the Champions League, not so much in the league. That will come, but I had a feeling I was like, something's gonna happen. I didn't see a nonsensical Rashford red card. We don't talk about the pens, but. It's always, United or soft serve FC. I'm not going to make excuses for that, but the refereeing in Europe, in England, is an issue. This fucking VAR shit is insane, and maybe it's equated to the 4th year of the NFL with instant replay, but like it's a proper mess because all it is every fucking game, whether it's United or not, right? The Spurs Chelsea game was all about VAR as well. Every game is about VAR, and that is taken away from the beautiful sport that we love so much.
Quick PSA for the podcast. If you like the America Red Devils and you're not sick of the excuse factory working overtime, we got them working in shifts down there. Jared, they're pumping. Alex is like, I'm like, hey, man.
I'm telling you, we're on the foreman.
They're tired down there. You already have enough excuses. He's got them working overtime.
Strike's over,
if you
bro.
want to
Didn't you hear?
support us
Strike's over.
and the Excuse Factory, check out our Patreon page. We don't have any sponsorships for this podcast. We are 100% fan-backed. Getting the Muppet take out there. Thank you so much to everyone who does support us on Patreon. You are the real MVP. Ian Espinoza just came a member. Thank you. You are the man. Appreciate you. If you want to sign up, be an MVP like Ian, check out patreon.com/America Red Devils. Tons of benefits. Behind the scenes episode every single month. Please check it out. If Patreon is not your thing, check out AmericaDevils.store. We have our Eric Ten Hag's Red Army scarves for sale. If you think that this team has been hard done by the referees and we're playing great football, grab that scarf, support this manager, support this podcast. Let's go. Also, AmericaDevils.com for the Muppet take on the blog. Sir, tell them about iTunes reviews.
The code for that should be Excuse Factory. That, get 25% off. Anyway, reviews. 5-star reviews, the America Devils podcast. Wherever you listen, it's a great way to support the pod. It helps us get found organically by other people who like just watching miserable football week in, week out. And even better, we're giving away free merch. We're giving away free ARD design scarves. We'll send them anywhere in the world. All you have to do is write a 5-star review on iTunes or Spotify with And send a screenshot of the review to americandoubles@gmail.com with your mailing address, and I'll personally pick, pack, and ship a free ARD scarf sent right to your door anywhere in the world. Here's Drost23 with a 5-star, best out there in the States. I often don't have a ton of time to watch the games live, so these guys are a godsend. I'm able to listen on 1.5 times speed and can still decipher what's said, which for whatever reason I can't do without British-Irish hosts. Hey, shout out to you. If you can listen to us at 1.5 times speed, I don't know how you do it.
That's incredible.
That's incredible, because I don't know if we've told you we're from Jersey and we talk a little fast. At least I do.
All right, let's get into this match. Okay, we had the wrong theme song. That's the
Come
EPL
on, bro.
theme song. Alex playing the Champions League theme song. Let's go.
You got to enjoy this while you can. Go her way.
Oh, no. We should play the Hans and Franz.
No, we're not playing Hans of France, so we're in Hans of France.
I can't enjoy it, sir. I can't enjoy this music because we don't deserve it. That's right. Copenhagen 4, Manchester United 3, the Parkin Stadium, the theater of your nightmares. They were right. The Tifo predicted it.
Like Danes. Just soft Danes.
Theater of nightmares.
Soft
that was a
and
nightmare.
That was never a performance, but like the atmosphere after we went 2-0
okay,
up.
so tell me how that was not a nightmare that we watched that 90 minutes.
I'm not discounting the fact that a 4-3 result when they gave us our red card.
I love you, brother, but the problem is the Tifo is right. That was theater of nightmares. That was a nightmare watch of a game.
Yeah, but that crowd is not
all.
like, they're not Galatasaray, bro. They're not like, it's not Istanbul, Turkey. It's like Copenhagen, Denmark.
Alex ain't taking no L's on this podcast.
I never do, bro. The happiest country in the world is going to be the most intimidating stadium we play in. Like, please.
Sir, your United bias is impressive.
It's
I
incredible.
love it. I absolutely love it. It's your superpower. Let's go. Lineup. Onana in net. Delo, Evans, Maguire, Wan-Bissaka, Eriksen, McTominay in the pivot, Bruno in the hole, Rashford on the right, Garnacho on the left, and Højlund up top. What do you think?
Question marks. Where's Varane for Evans? I think that was vindicated when you saw Varane in the later stages. Same with McSauce. I was like, where's your boy Mason Mount? I thought those were the only ones that kind of were confusing. Glad that Anthony got hooked. Excited for Garnacho to get a shot, but my two questions are around Evans and McTominay. What about yourself?
Yeah, I liked, you got Reguilon. Play him at left back. I think he'd be better with Garnacho going forward. I like Varane and Lindelof. In Europe, right, it's not as tough. You don't need the Magoo Evans, brickheads back there. I kind of felt it was a little inflexible. Also, I don't like Rashford out on the right either, sir. But this was what we decided to kick off with, and let's just get into it.
I mean, they look good.
No, look. The 11 was vindicated. We came out 3rd minute, and it was easy going from the beginning here. Let's go.
And that's a clever ball played into McTominay, and Højlund has scored. What a start! Biting the hand that once fed him. Rasmus Højlund's homecoming. It's crowned with a goal inside 3 minutes. It's his 4th in the Champions League this season. To prove your point.
I mean, you said it, AWB just getting forward. Great ball, and McTominay running into space. Højlund, feed that man. Danish on Danish crime. It's exactly what you wanted to see. Great start from Manchester United. Let's go. Champions League hopes. We're alive, baby. Let's go.
It's a great goal. It's a great team goal. We haven't seen nearly enough of that. It's one of the best team goals we've seen all season. AWB, what a change of pace he has to have up. I know everyone talks up to Lowe's crossing, but I think AWB was super advanced, was pushing forward a lot, and I love this no-look back pass ball. McTominay making the run, and more of these. Far post tap in. How many teams against us have scored that goal? We got to do it more often. I didn't want to get ahead of myself, but I was excited.
16th minute, Johnny Evans injured for Ron comes on there, and he would answer the doubters like myself about why he isn't playing lately.
Yikes.
25th minute, Onana, great claim from a dangerous ball. He was making it known that, look, don't mess with Onana back there. Everything coming up roses in the first half, including the 28th minute. Let's go.
Fernandes can break. Garnacho with Højlund free inside him. It's Garnacho though, and Højlund has scored again. Oh, this is pretty much how he dreamt it last night. Once the golden boy of Copenhagen. He's pounced twice in this opening half hour, presented with two.
Is that football I'm seeing from Manchester United? Bruno Fernandes with an amazing pass, Garnacho, and the rebound. Højlund, the T-Rex arms, gobbles it up. Nom, 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 nom. You love to see that from United.
It's like real football. I know it's Copenhagen, but that's real football. Love that front four, man. Bruno in his position. Rashford, I get it. He's better on the left, but, he looked okay. And Garnacho with a nice take. You want him to take it. And the most important thing is Højlund's where he needs to be. Højlund is like chasing. He's there. He's at the far post to clean it up. And we had an opportunity at the very end of this game when we were chasing it where we could have used him to maybe smash it home with the dying moments because, dude, he's a striker. He's got that striker instinct. You love to see it.
And then let's get into a moment of madness here. 39th minute.
Two for company, and Rashford's helped out Wan-Bissaka.
Rashford
Garnacho down to Bruno
leaves the
Fernandes.
high
Højlund's on his way
challenge,
here.
and then
Bruno
VAR
Fernandes
is
has
going
found
to check
it.
this one.
This is
Wasn't a high challenge. He had the ball.
He's running away from the cover.
Oh, we're already getting fired up.
I'm
Just say it. It wasn't
Just
a challenge.
listen to the audio here.
Manchester United 2 goals to 0 up. His bobbling shot wasn't his best.
So VAR takes a look at it.
Down to the man in the middle, Donatas Rumsas, and he's going to show a red card here to Marcus Rashford. Manchester United 2 goals to 0 up. 10 men.
Look, 40th minute, everything going our way until it's not going our way, and Rashford shoulders, wins the ball, and he makes a lunge. It goes high on the Copenhagen ankle, and VAR takes a look at it. You slow it down, and there's the red card. Rashford kind of smiling, laughing. Sir, give us your analysis on the referee.
I mean, if you take a snapshot at VAR, and we see this in the English league as well, and they just show the point of contact and no natural gameplay in terms of how it's happening live, it's going to look wicked. I mean, we saw that the couple non-reds once again in that Spurs-Chelsea game. But he has the ball, he doesn't see the player, and obviously he's not trying to hurt nobody. So I think it's a very bad call. I think it's a very harsh call. Like I said, if fucking Jamie Carragher and Richards are agreeing with us, that tells you something.
Yeah, look, 10 years ago, not a red card. I totally agree with you. In 2023, I've seen this given, unfortunately. Like, even the Casemiro madness where the neck touch and he's out. Like, they're not great calls, but, like, obviously replay coming into things and then seeing, if you look at where his foot goes, his cleats are high, going high on the ankle. He's not looking. There's no malicious intent from Marcus Rashford.
Has the ball.
That doesn't matter ultimately when it comes to challenges. It's about foot placement and if it endangers another player. I mean, if you go, the rule book is a tackle or challenge that endangers the safety of an opponent, right? Now, there's no intent there. This is an accident. It looks
intent,
bad.
right?
It's high.
They say intent, right?
Look, here's the deal. My opinion, in 2023, that's a red. It's high. And it's studs above the ankle. That's the ankle breaker. Whether there's intent or not, look, I don't think that should be a red. I'm more about the 10 years ago, like, let him play a little more. But in 2023,
So it's a red or it's not a red?
I think it's a red. In 2023, it's a red.
We found
10
somebody.
years ago, it's not.
We found somebody who thinks it's a red, but either way,
I think it's high, and it's studs on a high ankle, and that in 2023, wouldn't you not see that called red?
all the time. I mean, I see it all the time. I see like
If this was Copenhagen
some
on
games,
Rashford or
they
on Bruno,
elbowed
it would be-
Højlund in the head, like in the second half, and there was no call. It's
Elbows are not, but like
they
this,
elbowed him in the head, bro. It should have been a yellow. It shouldn't have been a red.
okay.
It should have been a second yellow, and that guy should have gotten sent off.
Look, I don't want it to be a red. I'm just saying it's high studs on the ankle, and and that's a red in 23.
He's boxing out a defender.
It doesn't matter.
And the guy
that,
gets in his way and he isn't looking. I mean, I think it's hard done. Either way,
it's like Rimmer Nani
We're
with
not going to overturn it. That was so much more egregious. That was a high foot.
Nani wasn't
not
looking.
No, neither was Rashford, though.
For me, the whole point is it doesn't matter if he meant to put his foot there. His foot ended up there, and obviously the VAR, it looks over and over and over. Sorry, if that happened to a United player, I'd be calling for a red. That's kind of how I think about it.
But it's
right now, today, I'd be like, that's a red, that's a red.
Lack of consistency.
Just like the handball with Magoo later in the game. I'm like, that's a handball.
It was. Well, if it is in 45 plus 9, it is for us too. So.
Exactly, right? So if I saw that on a United player, I'd want a red in 23. Now, I don't think it should be that way because now you're giving away too many reds, and it's affecting the game early on. Here we go.
It ruins the game, bro.
Exactly. No, I don't think
it ruined the game.
44th minute, right after this, Copenhagen at the post, free kick. And then let's just get into the, you get a red card. It's like, okay, we got the red, take the L, regroup, organize, don't concede, get the half.
It's hit by Diogo Gonçalves and turned in by El Yunusi. And suddenly this match has got a whole different look to it. Mohamed El Yunusi changes the complexion.
All right, that's exactly what you don't want to do, concede right after the red card. And, there's just... You could feel the deflation in the United team. As soon as they hit the post after that one, I felt like this was coming. I just there was blood in the water, shark swimming.
Well, we hadn't made the adjustment yet, right? That man it feeds the ball in is Marcus Rashford's man. Then you compound it by the fact that they have a player offsides blocking Onana. No call, of course. I mean, sir, we see that all the time. I'm just saying, the guy's offsides. It doesn't matter. You're giving up a goal right after you go down. That's not what you want to see. And then you compound it by giving up a penalty, right? Which is even more difficult, sir.
All right, let's get to it.
Up here. Kevin Dick's going for glory.
Plus 13 minutes in the first half.
Got some defending to do here with
Good old handball.
Trying to spin, and he's given a penalty for handball for Copenhagen. Heroics needed from Andre Onana again. Gonçalves sends Onana the wrong way, and from 2 down, Copenhagen have equalised.
I mean, rough to watch. I mean, honestly, we could get fired up here on the pod, but this is just tough to even replay. Look, it's a rough handball, but they got the same one. We got the same one back. I don't have as much anger about that one because we got the same call. Again, I've seen that Magoo header handball not called a pen
all the time, bro.
But we got it.
No, I agree. I'm
not gonna go hard on this one. Look, for me, it's more about how we couldn't figure it out, couldn't make the adjustment. Where's the leadership on the pitch? You got to get organized. You can't concede. Fine, you concede 1. You can't concede 2. We were mashed potatoes after the red card.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to make an adjustment. No one's expecting to get a player sent off. I do agree. You got to step it up. Someone needs to step it up at the end of the day. This shouldn't be a penalty, but neither the Magoo one should be a penalty. So at least there was consistency there. There wasn't a lot of consistency elsewhere, but either way, horror end for the half, right? You're playing really good football. Could have gone ahead 3-0, and instead you go into halftime a man down, and it's tied up.
Yeah, this one was. It's just more of the same from United. Coming out second half on Rabat for Eriksson, I felt like he did a good job in the middle of the park trying to just shore things up. 61st minute, big block from Magoo. United just trying to control the game. We're giving Copenhagen a lot of the ball back. We went long with the keeper, but kept recycling possession to them. Copenhagen defender elbowed Højlund in the face. No card. 66-minute handball from Copenhagen in the box. VAR gives the penalty, but doesn't want to.
I'm just saying, the goal, here we go. It's Bruno Fernandes in the 69th minute, giving United a lifeline.
Manchester United. Some you win, some you lose. That decision goes Manchester United's way. And an emphatic penalty from Bruno Fernandes makes it Copenhagen 2, Manchester United 3.
For an opportunity to get the big men forward, waiting for a free kick.
Look, great penalty from Bruno. We got the goal. I was feeling confident here. It's like, look, moment of madness. We get some momentum. We get the goal. We just can't capitulate again. And we played well here for like 10 minutes. 76th minute, great tackle from Delo. Hanging in there. 79th, United get the ball in an advanced position, but Bruno's pass was behind McSauce. We were getting forward here as well. 81st minute, elbow in the face for Garnacho, still no card. Alex, calling out every foul for Cody. The ref spite here is high in the agenda.
Oh, they're bad.
82nd minute, Magoo scores as the Copenhagen fans throw a lighter at Bruno from the corner. Not sure why it's overturned. And then it led to ultimately the 83rd minute, sir. No one's having fun here doing this podcast, I'll tell you.
It's a chance for Larea, and he's equalised. The man who was penalised for the penalty has put Copenhagen back on terms.
Look at Dallo at the far post, number 20.
I mean, this is inexcusable. Just absolutely horrid defending. Delo, just bluffer on the back post. Have seen this movie before, unfortunately for him, and in that situation, gotta be switched on.
100%, man. I can't make any excuses for Delo. It's like we had actually defended pretty well up to this moment, and then you have an individual complete error. Even Onana does okay to get a hand on it, but bro, I was worried about the back post. I was worried about the back post all day. And that is just unacceptable. You can't have it. And as soon as you give that goal out, takes the steam out of the team. And some guy named Rooney, bro, they said this kid's 17. He looks like he's 37.
Mount comes on from Højlund. And then in the 87th minute here, Copenhagen goes ahead.
Oscarsson's there. Bocci! Copenhagen take the lead with a goal from somebody called Rooney. Rooney Bargi, 17 years of age.
The youngsters want him. The parking erupts. It's just a hopeful ball in. And the amount of bodies
Who
in
is
there,
Delo defending
can't
there?
get a header on it.
Like, Delo is defending a ghost, and this man is just unmarked to kick it into the net. Look, let's finish this out here. 91st minute. There's a handball shout. 92nd minute, Maguire hits the crossbar. And 95th minute, Bruno hits it from way out. Keeper spills it. No one home to finish. Look, it was a rough day at the office. We lose 4-3. Bad result from United. Lots of complaints. Letters going to be sent to UEFA about this one.
Hey, that might be a start. I think for the first time, Erik ten Hag even bit his tongue last weekend. He actually, called it out. And you know what? Rightfully it should be called out because you don't have to go full Arteta and like cry like a baby bitch. But you do have to call out the officiating when the officiating is egregious. And the officiating in this game was egregious, bro. I'm sorry. Like United were baby bitches. And we shouldn't have conceded both those late goals, right? Delo. He's culpable for both. But both things can be true, and both things are true. It's like United got hard done, and we should have held on to the lead, and that's all it is.
This is to say the UEFA refereeing is bad as like that's news is kind of, I think, unbelievable, right? It's like it's always been bad. Refereeing in Champions League has always been something we have to overcome because you're dealing with like the Spanish refs, the German refs. English is the hardest played game. Then you go out into Europe and you have all these soft referees giving you cards for the Rashford thing. That's always something in Europe that is a known quantity that we've always had to overcome. For me, the red card for Rashford, you could say that's harsh. Look, I thought they called it straight with the handball. Maybe a yellow here or there for an elbow. I'm not seeing anything insane where this is like, it's not like they missed the offsides call against Liverpool, right? With
red card's worse. You're losing a guy for 60 minutes.
I just don't think that's that bad, that egregious. You could say that's I look.
Each his own, man. It's all good.
No, but to say
We still should have won. We still should have won against a shit Copenhagen team.
I
acting
agree,
they're-
but to say
they're
that-
Titans of Europe throwing
like
fucking layers
for
on
me,
the
the
field.
Casemiro choking him is way worse of a red than that.
There's been so many. It's just hard
Do
to
you get? You know what I'm saying? Like that's worse of a red because it's like he touched him there.
What about the
like, This
other-
is high on the ankle. You know that's I could see how high ankle
he
studs is a red. You can see how that's a red. I can't see how the Casemiro touching the neck is a red. You know, I'm just saying
If
that
you
to
take
say
a
that's
photo-
like the whole game. I don't
If
know.
you take it ruins the game, bro. I mean, you can't say that like losing a player away isn't going to impact your performance.
I'm saying
because-
it's not the worst red I've seen.
Yeah, probably. I mean, we've seen worse.
This is
We've
the
seen worse.
2023 Nani red.
They should just
basically.
get rid of VAR, bro. Just scrap it. It ain't good for just do automatic offsides and otherwise like no VAR. It adds nothing to the game. It just detracts. It slows everything down. It makes it a second. Forget the game. Forget this game.
A loss is a
Forget
loss.
this game.
We're lost.
I'm not talking about this game. I'm talking about remove this game. Remove all the bad calls we've gotten this season. Just get rid of VAR. It adds nothing to the game. It slows everything down. Every time anyone scores, everyone assumes it's going to be checked or overturned because of VAR. I'm not talking about United. I'm just saying it's ruining every game, bro. You watch games in the EPL.
Yeah, we've talked about this at length. It's like it's
rid of
going to
it.
ruin
Get
the
rid of it.
game until they figure out how it doesn't ruin the game. But replay's here to stay. Unfortunately, just
You're
how
right.
it is going to be, and it's having a bad year this year, and you can tell why because there's way too many calls. And we've heard of them from other like Arteta's a great example. That like I don't think there's a lot of whinging on that one either. I think that's a big hubbub of nothing. As
That's
far
less
as what
of a
was called,
hubbub, right?
I just don't like. You got to take the decisions and just deal with it because you got to win. It's no one's going to remember this red card when we're in Europa League, bro. It's like you're just going to remember United played shit football and we're not in the Champions League. You get 6 games, and it's just like you get hard done once, but how many of them are you going to be losing? We're last in the group. Stat sheet. Look, the good thing about the stat sheet, we had 2.61 xG to Copenhagen's 2.08 with a man down. You know, that showed that we were brave, getting forward, creating opportunities. Shots on target were 8-8. Possession right down the middle, 52% to 48%. And then looking at the tactical side of things, obviously the referee, not the best day. We can all agree there. But the tactical teardown is we could not defend for the life of us, right? We couldn't get organized. Wan-Bissaka and Delo out of position on 2 of those goals. Couldn't deal with the crosses. Maguire and Varane, they lacked coordination. Copenhagen dominated on the ball. Like, we were all over the shop. Once we went to 10 men, sir, you're right. It changed the game because we couldn't get organized and we couldn't defend. If we could have gotten a point. We could have won easily. At 3-2, we had a chance to get organized. At 2-0, going down to 10 men, we had a chance to get organized. And if you look at that theme of the shuffling the back line and not being able to defend, not being able to hold leads, and conceding lots of goals, that's been the theme the entire season. So it's not a surprise to me that going to 10 men would lead to this disaster of a match against Copenhagen, despite the shit refereeing.
That's right. You got to be able to deal, man. Because at this point, you have to expect bad calls, and you just have to rise above it. You got to rise above it and figure out a way to win, no matter what. And it's just going to be the way it goes, bro. Like they're going to keep coming.
We gotta know how to defend.
They're
We
going to
gotta
keep coming.
defend.
The bad calls are going to keep coming. So United needs to figure out their shit and not worry about the bad calls and just persevere and overcome.
We are poor defensively this year. That has nothing to do with the refereeing, right? So the whole concept is talking about how we can't. We're not
Multiple
organized.
things how many times do I have to say multiple things to be true at the same time? And they scored. They shot eight shots, and half of them went in. So like obviously we didn't defend well enough. The lowest couple in the last 2 goals. One was a pen. We didn't play well enough, right? When we went down. But when we went down,
No, there's
changed the
something
game.
about like Varane not being on form,
didn't
Magoo
play
coming
well.
in, Johnny Evans being the number 1 guy, Delo out of position. Like it's like a revolving door in the back line, and we're not playing well. We're not organized, which is leading to these us conceding high amounts of goals. And it's not like a newsflash that if you go down to 10 men, you're taking off attackers for defenders. And again, we conceded 2 in 4 minutes twice. Like that's just bad from Manchester United in any spot. And we have to be focusing on the defense because last season defense was locked up. Couldn't score. This year we can't score and we're conceding like Swiss cheese. So either way, it's tough, sir. You know, it's been a tough run.
You have to look at the data.
Looking at the stats, United were aggressive in attack, 2.61 XG, like I said, but the conversion rate was low. United has to do better. We have to finish better, like our attack's been sputtering, like we've talked about. shots in the penalty box. Both teams had 8, and we were huffing it up pretty long. We had a 40.8 meter high goal kick, right? So we were just booting it up to Copenhagen a lot, recycling the ball, giving them the ball, like, so we couldn't get out of that pressure situation like at the end of the first half. So that was part of it as well. Like, we couldn't get a hold of the ball, we couldn't build up, and at the end of the day, if you're turning over to Copenhagen and they're crossing it in and cross after cross, it fell to them. They scored. I just didn't think we made the adjustment when we went down to 10 men, and that's just kind of been the theme this year. A little sporadic from United.
It's been a rough year for Manchester United. Our own doing, outside of our own doing, and there's no more excuses. There's plenty more excuses. And all we can do is on to the next one, sir. We got another game that's just as important because it's a very average team at home that we have to be winning, and, which is important, headed into the international break. You know how this goes. The circus, if you give them anything, they will fucking hop all over it. So we need to get a win. We need to get 3 points, and we need to continue to play some good football. Let's play the football we played for the first 39 minutes of this game, but over 90 minutes, get a clean sheet, score some goals, have a good time. How about that? Is that too much to ask for?
Lead us into Group A results. Manchester United with 3 points, Galatasaray with 4, tied with Copenhagen on 4, Bayern at 12. Bayern pretty much qualified for the group stage, something that we used to like to do. We are 4th. I can't remember us ever being 4th. It's good news is if we finish 4th, we don't get Hans and Franz,
Which we won't.
but obviously we play Galatasaray away. It'd be hard to get something from that. And then you have Galatasaray versus Copenhagen on the last day. That's going to be the one, and us versus Bayern. So Bayern could play the B team. We're not out of it, but it's not looking great. And we're going to need something else to go our way. So it's like when you're in the World Cup and you're watching your team, but you're also watching the other game. That's kind of how it's going to be here to see if we're going to be playing
Bayern.
I have a feeling it is going to be Europa League all the way, sir. But what do we know? Let's check in with the main man, the manager, Erik ten Hag.
It's clear. We are very disappointed. And because you play very good. I think we started the game so well. Best minutes of this season. We are winning the game. And I think the red card changes everything. And then we concede 2 goals before halftime, which should never have counted. First is offside. Second, a penalty. And that is in 4 games, 4 penalties against. And where I say 3 are very debatable. It's also harsh. I think he went for the ball. And the referee has so a long time. They need such a long time to make it a red card. Samuel.
With the red card, it seemed like the replay, there was freeze framing and slow-mo of it. Do you think that's a flaw of VAR in that there's a danger it takes the challenge out of context and it doesn't present it properly?
You say it very good. I think when you freeze it, it looks always so worse. And as I say, it takes then so long and then make a red card of it. And so I feel I'm very disappointed about such decisions. I think the game is never meant to be like this. And this has nothing to do with football, the decisions has to be made, and I accept that there are also wrong decisions are made. But if I sum it up, when you make on this level 3 such tough decisions, you control the game, and I think the game is never meant to be for that.
Just with the group, the bigger picture.
All right, sir. The manager not liking the calls, obviously. He says the 2 goals in the second half shouldn't have happened, and the red card shouldn't have happened. So hard done by. Like you said, it's been a rough year for VAR, rough year for United at VAR, like you said. But it's going to cost us Champions League football at the end of the day.
That's it, man. Like you said, nobody's going to look back in a couple years' time or even at the end of the season and be like, all the bad calls we got in the league or the Champions League. It's all going to be about, where are you at? Are you playing in Gdansk or are you playing in fucking Barcelona? And it looks like we're going to go to Gdansk because United never does use. We're not finishing 4th, bro. We'll get some kind of result. We'll get some kind of result against Galatasaray, like a draw, have just enough of a lifeline. Obviously, Bayern will like smoke Copenhagen, and then you just have just enough to grasp onto.
Honestly, don't mind group stage Europa League. I don't mind it.
Big fan.
I don't mind.
You
it.
like the song, don't you?
The song's catchy. Like we play it all the time. I mean, like we're playing Europa League.
It's on the soundboard, ain't it?
Like we are a Europa League team.
I know. Obviously,
that's literally it.
I mean, if you look through the pod,
how
many years have we been calling?
Like it's I don't want it. It's like you look in the mirror. I don't want it to be true, but it is. It's like we are a Europa League team. That song's a little catchy. Thursday nights, Thursday night football.
It grows on you, dude.
Thursday night football. It's not bad. Speaking of next match, sir, we have. Ooh, let's go. Woo!
Appropriate. I'm just hoping we
gotta get up, baby.
I hope we don't have any mad coaches to open the pod on Saturday after we talk about this game. For the love of God.
Alrighty, we got Manchester United versus Luton Town, baby. Old Trafford EPL. Saturday, November 11th, 7 a.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. Eastern. All your Champions League woes are gone. We're back, baby.
What?
Versus Luton, we've won 29, drawn 7, lost 4. Luton are due.
I know, bro.
They're due. First time we played them, 1897. Newton Heath versus Luton Town. We lost in the first division, 2-1. Last 5, 1-4. Drawn 1. Let's go. Luton coming in, playing. They lost to Tottenham 1-0. Tottenham beat them with a clean sheet, and they had a red card, sir. 10 men. You can defend with 10. Drew Nottingham Forest. Lost to Villa, drew the Scouse Bastards. That's making me nervous. They fought tough. Obviously, we're at home. They're coming in our house. You have to think we have the edge.
We have to, but you know who they're gonna be. It's like they got Menji, they got Tahith Chong, bro. He's the one who scored against the Scousers. Nice goal on the break. But they are really compact. They 2 blocks of 4. They defend really well. And then they play on the counter. So we know what to expect. United has to be able to break down that low block. They have to be able to maintain possession and also not get caught out on the break. It's a trap game. It's a trap game because United need a win. It looks like a must win. It is a must win. And it's a team they have to be
beating. They're all must wins.
Exactly, bro. And, dude, they're in the EPL for a reason, bro. Every team in the EPL is dangerous. So I'm not nervous, but I'm not expecting much.
Founded in 1885, they are nicknamed the Hatters.
That's an all-time name, by the way.
The Hatters.
That is incredible.
Due to the historical association of the town, because they got a hat-making trade. If you're ever in Luton, pick up a hat. The Hatters have a long-standing rivalry with Watford. Radio Watford, how are we doing? They're playing the 3-4-2-1, like you said. They got some dangerous players. Ross Barkley.
Yeah, I know, bro. It's like a throwback.
Cobbling them together. Obviously, talked about Menji and Tahith Chong. Injuries for United, more concerning. Casemiro out. Martinez out. Malacia out. Luke Shaw, he still play? Sancho's playing FIFA. And Ahmad. Training clips on Instagram. That's all we got, sir. Given those are the injuries, what is your starting 11? And can this doom spiral of Manchester United football stop?
Probably not.
This weekend.
Probably not. I'm probably mixing up too much because knowing our crazy manager is going to play the same team. But I'm going to do Onana, AWB, I guess Varane because Evans is probably hurt now. Maguire, Delo. Now it's Reguilon. Delo needs a blow. I'm going to go possession-based midfield. Eriksen, Mount, Bruno, Rashford on the left, Højlund up front. Kundo, give him a shot on the right wing. I am 100% sure this 11 will not be picked, but that's the 11 I would go with. What do you got, sir?
I'm going Onana, AWB, Varane, Lindelof, Sergio. I'm going to say Eriksen, McTominay, Bruno, Rashford, Højlund. I'm going to do Mason Mount on the right wing.
Like that.
You
Why
got to play Mason Mount.
I
don't know.
Dude.
Something about Mason Mount. He's just getting ready to cook, sir. He's been waiting this whole time. Just like a recipe. You gotta like age it like fine
He's been doing
wine.
his mise en place.
I'll tell you,
for
they
weeks.
went for a team dinner. Great news, good sign. Team goes for team dinner. Vibes are good. We beat
Who's the
Fulham.
Muppet now?
We beat Fulham late winner against Fulham, the Titans of the EPL.
All right.
Team's got to celebrate going to dinner. Guess who the best dressed is? Mason Mount. Yankees cap the whole 9.
You thought he was the
very
best
sharp.
dressed?
Best
I
dressed
thought
by
Scott
far.
looked pretty good. Scott looked pretty sharp. He had a nice top coat.
From Jersey, you got the Yankees gear. He had like the varsity jacket.
Yeah,
Let's
look,
go.
you'd be wearing
Let's
that
go.
jacket. You're a big varsity jacket guy.
If I had like 30 million in the bank and I could dress like
Yeah.
a fool and my friends couldn't tell me, then yes, I'd probably be
Yes.
wearing something like that. But
I
I'm
bet
not.
it's expensive as shit, whatever he was wearing.
Yes, it was some sort of custom, essential off-white Nike, something the kids would know. Supreme, I don't know, sir. Book in the bookies. Manchester United minus 275. Luton plus 850. Draw plus 480. Man, the money on the draw. You would take that. Luton
Take
coming
Luton,
in.
bro.
How you feeling? What's your score prediction here?
I'm not feeling super confident. I think we got it out. I think we got out a 1-0. 1-0 win. But it's not easy, and we don't make it look easy, and it's win ugly. What do you got?
Oh, I mean, I think we're going to win. I think you win 3-1, comfortable. I think it's us versus the world. I question the defensive organization. I've questioned that the entire year. We're just mashed potatoes at the back. And we don't have the grit. No. We're wet noodle. It's like you add that together, you concede goals, you drop your head, you let in 3, you let in 4. I've seen that movie way too many times, but Luton, it's going to be easy. We'll score first. Hoyland getting on the EPL scorecard. We easily beat them going into international break.
What have you got against mashed potatoes, sir? You've been hammering those mashed potatoes all year.
Sir, it's from Succession.
Here we go. Let's get into some news.
By the way, mashed potatoes coming up.
It's amazing. Speaking of mashed potatoes, look at this guy.
What? Who doesn't like mashed potatoes at Thanksgiving?
I love them. With gravy?
But they're not sturdy,
No,
not
it's
reliable in defense.
true.
Not reliable, basically, is what they are. United in the news.
Soft.
Good article here. This dumb-looking motherfucker.
Look at that guy.
Richard
Remember
Arnold
we did the
expect
interview?
to leave with Jim Ratcliffe arrival. Sir, who is he going to hang out with and drink beers with once he's gone? Where is he going to go? Like, where do you go if you live in Manchester? You're this horrible CEO of the club. You help ruin it. You sell your soul to the Glazers. You got to move, right? Where do you go? New Jersey? Maybe.
No, he's going to
Come to America, sir. No one knows who you are.
There you go. In New Jersey, and trust me, if you go to New Jersey or California or anywhere in between, nobody's going to have any idea who the fuck Richard Arnold is. And he'd be better off getting a job in the United States because look at Phil Neville. Phil Neville just somehow keeps getting jobs, and I think his win rate's like 28%. Richard Arnold is the Phil Neville of
Well, Ed
DOFs or
Woodward hasn't
CEOs.
reared his head. Ed Woodward hasn't shown up for any job, right? Like these guys.
What's he doing, bro?
Here's
What
the
is
deal.
Ed Woodward doing?
You got to see. It's like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer doesn't have a job. Like Ed Woodward doesn't have a job. You could tell who's in demand if they get a job after they leave, right? And Eric Ten Hag, he'll get a job.
He will.
He'll get a job. LVG got a job. Mourinho got a
But
job.
Murtaugh won't. Neither will Richard
Murtaugh
Arnold,
won't.
bro.
Richard Arnold won't, right?
Yeah, Fletcher won't.
Are you maybe he can FC Cincinnati? They're looking for somebody.
Was that right? They started a new
FC
club?
Cincinnati. Yes, that is a real club in the MLS, I believe so. Either way, but the biggest point of this whole thing is that we're hearing rumors, the Ratcliffe deal, it's in the works, but what are we hearing? We're hearing management out. It starts at the top.
Yep.
Obviously the boardroom, but the Glazers aren't there on the day-to-day. But, it's not like you have this is like Snape, Slytherin Snape,
Look at that face.
from the Harry Potter, just shoving up to Voldemort, doing his bidding. It's like, I feel like Ratcliffe's going to be a breath of fresh air. He's going to provide the space from the Glazers, bringing his team, run it his way. He's going to get time. He'll get years to kind of sort it out on his own.
Ratcliffe?
Yeah, he'll get time. Like him coming in and putting his guy to be CEO of United is going to be a big change at United. We're going to see a lot of changes around the club, and I think they're just going to clear house. They're going to try to get rid of everything we've talked about in this podcast, burn it down, and start anew. And it's going to start with the CEO and then the new director of football. And the new CEO is being rumored to be Jean-Claude Blanc.
Doesn't that just sound better? Doesn't it just sound like we're a
PSG?
European titan
It
versus
does.
Richard Arnold? No offense.
Ex-Juventus PSG chief could be new CEO, and the fact that they're looking at new CEOs, the fact there's rumors about new CEOs, this is all good news for fans. So as shit as we are on the pitch, as bad as things look, as wet noodle as we are, and as mashed potatoes as our defense is, this is the best news you could hope for. Change at the top, and it all starts next year in a rebuild and on from there. And then maybe we could be a Champions League team every single year. But right now, you look at it, it's tough.
Yeah, maybe in 3 to 5 short years. 100%, sir. This is the most important thing happening at Manchester United, right? This season is basically a wash at this point. Manager, players, whatever. At the end of the day, it's about the structure above that is the continuity across players, across managers, because they do come and go in the modern era. As much as you want to hold on to one, the fact that we are hearing real noise about real names coming in, and also the fact that, like, beyond Jean-Claude Blanc, Murtaugh and Arnold losing their jobs first and foremost, that's the most important thing, because basically you can find a fucking laundry list of people that are more qualified than those two numpties. I don't know that much about Jean-Claude Blanc. He was very influential at Juventus when he got the Allianz Stadium financed and built. Their new stadium, relatively new stadium.
That is a big part of this job.
Yes, exactly, bro, because they're going to finance the shit out of Old Trafford and sell it the name and probably add 25,000 seats and all that good stuff. Less good stuff is that he worked a long time at PSG, and obviously we know how that has gone, so he's seen a little bit of how the Qataris like to do business, and since 2022, he's been working at Ineos on all things CEO of sport, right? Because they have the cycling team, they have the racing team, and obviously they have Nice and a couple other footballing operations as well. So hopefully, I like guys who they have mixed bags of success, but they learn. Exactly. He has real experience at big clubs, and not all great, but hopefully you learn. Often you learn a lot from mistakes.
But PSG, from a CEO perspective, like, you have to look at it. It has scaled well. The results haven't been there on the pitch. It's more of a DOF. That's more of a DOF. Manager perspective, but like, you look at the Jordan brand, you look at Mbappe, you look at how they become a worldwide brand. That is a success coming from pretty much nothing, and he was critical to that. Obviously Ratcliffe's could be hiring to get Manchester United grow the brand as well as improve the pitch and the overall operations. So maybe fans are more concerned with the football, but Ratcliffe, Glazers, they're going to want a little of that shine too. They're going to want that Jordan brand. Imagine if you saw a Manchester United jersey with the Jumpman. Take my money.
I buy all three.
Adidas kits killing me, Smalls. Like, I can't. It's a crime that Adidas re-upped. I'm just dying for the Jordan Jumpman on a Manchester United shirt. Don't lie, that would be awesome. But we'd definitely be forced to give the Glazers more of our money, unfortunately. Sir, jumping into fan questions. At D_Cole18, Erik ten Hag was cooking with Rashford on the right wing. I've been begging for it forever. Takes away his hero ball game. We were actually playing good ball. Højlund 2 goals. Ref, fuck us over again. Team showed spirit after the red, but that doesn't equal points. Champions League over. Dark ales at the ready. At Jack Bourne 86, sirs, what would define success for us this season? Trying to find something to hold on to. This roster isn't giving me much inspiration. I speak for all ARD fans when I say thank you for the pod therapy, much needed. Look, it is pod therapy for sure. I mean, this has just been a rough season to watch. Can't say it's the first one. Starting the pod when we did in
17
with Mourinho, we thought we would go on a run, and it's been a wild ride. We're approaching the Rangnick lows. What could be success? What would define success for us this season?
I think if we were to finish in the top 4, figure out a way to do so, I think that would be a great success given how poorly you started and how much more competitive the league feels this year than last.
Who do you beat for the top 4? Who do you beat? Because
Spurs or maybe Liverpool.
Spurs is
what? They're winning the league, bro? Come on.
They're not winning the league, but they're pushing City right now. Spurs is like...
Yeah, City's in the head. City's ahead. And so that would be... you asked what would be a success for this
who
year?
Who do you edge out? Newcastle, Spurs, City, right? And then you have...
Right now in top 4 is City, Spurs, Arsenal, and Liverpool.
So who are you edging out? Arsenal,
Liverpool, or Spurs, bro? I don't think Spurs can keep this up with their roster, which is pretty thin. Like,
I don't think we're getting top 4. So
I don't think we're getting top 4 either. But you said what would define success? What
would define success? Making it to the Europa League final,
and winning it.
Like, I would say right now, the best chance. And I don't know how you look at that table and you're like, we're going to beat all these teams. We're playing
Did I
bad.
say that?
It's
The
like,
question was, what would
it's like
define success for this
Champions League
season?
football. That's fair.
Yeah, that's Champions League football. We're
But
not a
I think
title-winning team.
I think the best way forward is Europa League.
That's fair.
Unfortunately,
I don't think
you
that's
know. I don't.
untrue.
I think it's a bridge too far to say this team can beat those. And
you don't
Villa's
have to
up there.
beat them. You just get more points than the rest of the teams, even if you lose to the top 4.
Well, there's a lot of them now. Like, hey, let's see how we go. Let's see how Anfield goes. At JW,
Let's see how Luton goes. Let's see how Luton goes, bro.
at JDW 300. How do we contend with this kind of officiating? Before the red card, this match was over. We looked good. Lethal. Afterwards, a lot of running around, but not a lot of motivation. I'm not sure what to even feel at this point.
I mean, it's hard, man. Like I said, I thought there's 2 goals at the end of first half. They shouldn't happen, but, there's some fucking doubts around it. It's more so you get a lifeline with a penalty, right? And those cancel each other out. I can eat that. The Delo error, then arguably the second Delo error. It's like, it's hard when I thought, we defended okay, considering we're 10 men. I know Copenhagen are shit, but still, individual errors are costing us. And we've also seen that this season. It's like, there's been some
Only
bad
2
team
XG,
performance.
and we conceded 4, right? You know what I'm saying? We conceded 4 off
I'm
of
saying.
2. They should.
And they had a penalty.
But the point is that they were hoofing these like low chance crosses that we
Exactly,
couldn't
bro.
deal with. It's just, you can't win if you defend poorly. Like
100%.
even if you have 11 men, you defend bad, you lose. And our defense, injuries, like Martinez is gone. We don't look the same at the back. Look, that's
Same with Shaw. He's a huge absence.
That's fair. That's absolutely like he would be there on the back post. At you boasted, poor Hoyland is cursed. Another disaster team joins the ref in putting on a horror show. Do they don't know what they do from here? On to Cincinnati.
Cincy.
On to Cincy, baby. That's it. You just gotta take the L, salt, hot sauce, eat it. You don't like it.
That's a great one.
This team is Dracula FC. We're allergic to crosses. That is legendary. That's an all-time Twitter comment. At Mike United Mets, usually a bastion of positivity. Can we go to you, Mike, in these moments?
Come on, Mike.
Quote, can we start the season over? I've lost track of the number of VAR calls or no calls against us. Feels like we have had every break go against us for 3 months. If we win in Turkey, we have a way out of the group. Hopefully Shaw is back for that after his Thanksgiving turkey. He's going to be enjoying a big old turkey leg.
Why not? Let's go.
And we're probably going to end on this one here. At No Liver Jones _ Hans and Franz are back to stay, sirs. It's true. Hans and Franz, we didn't want
Let's
you.
win it. Let's win it.
This is how we start every time we're in the Champions League. We don't want Hans and Franz. We're afraid of it. And then we remember how comfortable it is.
How
It's
easy
just
it
a
is.
nice blanket. Realistic teams you can beat. We do need to avenge the bad. Like I will say, teams have bad juju that just like hovers over them. There is some wicked hard bad juju from that Villarreal final that I don't think we've recovered from.
No.
Like winning Europa League, if we won Europa League to qualify for Champions League, that would be huge. That would be huge for this team, right? And this manager, right? Think about it. You go on a run in Europa League. Hey, we're not ready yet. Look at this squad. Look at the injuries. Look at the defense. We need players. It's clear we're in transition. You can make a run. You can actually beat these teams in Europa League. You win a trophy. You qualify for Champions League. You get that extra game next year where you play the winner of the Champions League. It's a good thing to build from. So
You changed my mind.
big Europa League fan.
You changed my mind.
We're back.
I'm in, baby. Let's go. Hans and Franz. We
We're
gotta
still
finish
in the,
third.
Everyone
we gotta
listening is
finish
like,
third.
yo, we're still in the Champions League.
And you know what? Here's the thing. You're absolutely right because it's a mountain to climb to get back into the top 4 because it's so good. There are 6-7 teams that can finish the top 4.
They're just
whereas
playing
last
better
year,
and they have more complete rosters.
No, they
than
are.
we
They're
do.
playing
That's the
much
issue.
better than we are. I don't think they all have more complete rosters, maybe with the injuries, yeah. But I think winning Europa League gives us a great chance to get back into it. So, sir, you've convinced me. Hans and Franz, bring it on. Let's go back to Gdansk, my favorite town in Poland.
Look, that's it. That's the podcast. Another solid pod therapy session, sir. Feeling much better. Got the excuses out. Got the whinging out. Got the yelling at the ref. We back, baby. I already feel great.
I feel
We're
great.
going to dominate Luton Town.
Maybe.
That's why we're Muppets. That's why we're fans. You like this podcast. You like the Muppet Take. You need some more pod therapy. Support us on Patreon. Like we don't have any sponsors. 100% fan backed. Patreon.com/America Red Devils. AmericaRedDevils.store for the merch, scarves, etc. AmericaRedDevils.com for the fan-generated blog content. Sir, give us our top 10 cities for downloads last 7 days.
Number 1, how you doing? How you doing? Los Angeles, California, Dublin, Ireland, Chicago, Illinois, New York, Dallas, Texas, Charlotte, North Carolina, Tampa, Florida, Melbourne, Australia, Brooklyn, New York, and San Francisco, California. Thank you for all the American Devils listening week in, week out. We couldn't do without you. Come on, boys. Let's have some luck go our way. Let's play some good football, and let's not leave it up to destiny. Let's not leave it up to the football gods. Let's take it to Luton. They're a team that we got to be smoking, and let's carry the momentum from at least those first 30 minutes. Sir, close us out in only the way that you know how to.
Let's go. We're back, baby.